Hey everybody, it's Brooke with the Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. You know, this time of year, a lot of people really like to have different types of seafoods for special occasions, and that is no exception in the South. So today what we're going to be sharing with you is our version of Southern seafood gumbo, and we'll be using shrimp and catfish. So I know your mouth is watering, so let's get started. Okay, so I have a 6-quart Dutch oven with 2 tablespoons of avocado oil in here, just heating up. Now to this we're going to add 1 cup of diced onions, about 1 cup of diced bell pepper, and 2 celery ribs that we have diced all about the same size. Now for me, I'm using some bell peppers of 2 different colors that I just had on hand. Now, feel free to use green, yellow, red. It really just doesn't matter. Whatever you have on hand will work just fine. And we just want to saute this in that avocado oil just until they're slightly translucent and softened. And this will take, anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes. It won't take long. Okay, now to this, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of fresh minced garlic right in the pot. And you can use a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. It really doesn't matter. I like using avocado oil because it doesn't have a lot of taste. It can withstand high heat. So when you're sauteing vegetables like this, it doesn't tend to burn. It's also good for you. It's a good healthy fat. So I use it a lot in cooking. Now we just want to cook that garlic just for about 1 minute because we don't want it to burn. We're just going to cook it long enough to release those aromatic flavors that it's going to add to our gumbo. And I'm doing all of this over about medium to high heat. So now I have 1 46-ounce bottle of spicy but low sodium V8 juice. That's going to go right in, the whole bottle. I'm just going to stir it in, those vegetables and garlic. Trying to do it kind of slow so it doesn't go everywhere and look like there's been a murder in my kitchen. And we have 1 can of diced tomatoes, and I did not drain the juice. We want those to go right in as well. And give that a good stir. Now to this, we're gonna just kind of tighten things up a little bit with about 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now, this is gumbo, so it needs to be a little spicy, but feel free to add or take away as you see fit. Our recipe calls for about 1/2 teaspoon. For us, for this amount of food that's going in here, about 1/2 teaspoon is just the trick where it gives it flavor without much heat. You can add more, you can add less, you can omit it, that's fine. I actually added in a little more than 1/2 teaspoon just because we like ours a little spicy. Now gumbo is great. It's traditionally served over white rice. So we actually recommend that you cook some cauliflower rice and have that ready if you're watching what you're doing because everything that we're adding in here is good for you, and you can serve it over cooked cauliflower rice, and you'll never miss a thing. If you want to cook cauliflower rice for you, like I'm going to do, and then cook regular white rice for your family, that is fine too. But we do cook that separately and just serve this over that. Now we're going to just bring that just to a simmer, and we're going to let this cook for about 8 to 10 minutes, uncovered. Okay, that's been simmering uncovered for about 6 to 8 minutes. So now we have 1 pound of catfish fillet that we have just cut up into cubes, and I'm going to add that into our simmer pot carefully. And they're just 1-inch cubes or so. And we're going to add those in and give them a stir so that they can start to cook. Now, I have one 15-ounce bag of cut frozen okra that I have thawed. So we're going to add that whole bag in so that it can also cook with the catfish. Now this time, because we don't want it to reduce any more liquid, because we still have the shrimp we had to add in, we are going to cover it and allow it to simmer for anywhere for about 7 to 8 minutes, and then we'll add in our shrimp and allow that to cook anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes, just until it turns pink. Doesn't normally take long. Then we'll come back and we'll show you how we serve it over cauliflower rice. I might make Danny or Big D some real rice, so stay with us. Okay, we finished our cook time with our fish and our okra for about 5 to 7 minutes, and now I have not quite a whole pound of raw shrimp that I'm going to carefully drop in. And I like using the small to medium size, deveined, tail off, peeled. And these were frozen, flash frozen, and they'll cook up mighty fast. So we're going to let these cook just to get those shrimp nice and pink for about 5 to 7 minutes. I'm going to get my cauliflower rice ready. Then we're going to come back and we're going to have a delicious southern seafood gumbo with shrimp and catfish. So stay tuned. Okay, everybody, we're back. We finished that last 5 to 7 minute cook time with the shrimp in here, and then I turned the heat off, let it sit for just a minute while I made my cauliflower rice, and then I went ahead and served it up just so it could cool a little bit before I taste it on camera so that I won't just scald the inside of my mouth. So let's take a look at it and see how pretty it is. First, you have all this beautiful fish and shrimp. Everything is just cooked to perfection. And we've done all this in just a small amount of time. Little shortcuts like using the frozen okra make a huge difference. And then of course you're sauteing your vegetables and giving them a lot of flavor. But I'm gonna get a piece of that fish and shrimp and okra and just a tad of that cauliflower rice. Now you can also just use regular rice here, but I'm gonna try to cool this off so it just doesn't burn the lining of my mouth right off. Now, you could do this in the Instant Pot and just cook your vegetables and your V8 and all of those things with your mirepoix in just like 2 or 3 minutes if you wanted to, then add your fish and then put it back in and do the same thing, just about 2 to 3 minutes at a time. And then what I would suggest doing is once those 2 cook times are done, can you tell I'm stalling? Once those cook times are done, then you can just add the shrimp in and then put the lid back on and don't cook it again at all. Just to let that shrimp cook in that very hot, very done broth with the fish. Okay, it's still hot. It's still hot, I know it is. Okay. That's perfect. That is seafood gumbo in half the time. I know I might have some Creole and Cajun people on here who shake their head at me, but I challenge you to try this. If you want just a quick and easy delicious seafood gumbo to go with your holiday feast, this is it. And you can do it in less than 30 minutes with pantry staple ingredients, and it's healthy, it's good for you. And my gosh, it tastes good. And you know if it's Southern, it tastes good. That catfish is tender, flaky, perfect. The shrimp adds a different texture to it altogether. And if you don't eat okra any other way in gumbo, that's the way to have it. Not too spicy, just right for me and Big D. But you can use a spicy V8 and hold off on the cayenne altogether. A lot of times, these spicy flavors, you want it just to have just a hint of just a little heat, just to give it that body and that character that you expect out of Creole and Cajun cooking that you find here in the deep South where we are. So we hope that you'll try this recipe and love it as much as we do. It can be found over at thebutteredhome.com with a free printable version just for you. While you're there, make sure you sign up for our VIP email list. We have a really good time and we want you to be wherever we are. Also, if you want all of our videos in one convenient place, head over to YouTube, search for The Buttered Home, and when you find us, hit that subscribe button and ding the bell so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. Also, if you're not already, make sure you're following us on all of our social channels. We have a real good time. You never know, we're going to pop in with tips and tricks or me just making a mess in my kitchen. You won't want to miss it. So from all of us here at The Buttered Home to your home, we sure love y'all. Bye.